The video that we've all been waiting for, Nationers. Video has to be #1 on trending. This has to be #1. Yeah, there's no way that this is not #1. Kind of a shocker. I don't think anyone saw this coming. Maybe let me know in chat if you guys did. This is the goodbye from MatPat. Here we go, Nationers.
It's not clickbait. On March 9th, I will be hosting my last Theory episode, at which point I will be handing off the channels to someone else.
Wait, hold on. That was, hold on. Okay, I know, like the, ooh. Okay, I have many questions. He's giving his channels the whole shabil. Is he giving it to his child? So when his child is old enough, he's like making game theorist videos? Okay, hold on. I should just continue.
That's it. Send tweet. We're all done here. That's
I don't want spoilers as of yet. I know some of you guys have watched this,
wow.
but hold on.
Forgive me, by the way, if I'm a little bit more disorganized than usual. Normally, I would want to script out something like this pretty precisely.
Yeah, me too.
But
I like it.
Like this, I wanted to bring it back to just us. There's no one else in the room. There's no teleprompters. There's no nothing. It's just.
You know how weird I made a video like this, and it's like weird to like fast your emotions, like when there's like room with. Yet alone, it feels weird when there's like a bunch of people, but like it's dramatically more heightened. You know, like when you're crying, you're like, oh my god, I don't want to cry, and then everyone else starts crying. It's like it's more of a communal thing, but it feels very weird when it's like just you and a camera. Just you and a camera recording. This is what it feels like recording most of the videos that I make. So yeah, that's
the way that this whole thing started.
Okay.
It's a conversation between us.
Damn. Oh god.
And
Am
sorry.
I gonna cry?
Am
I gonna cry
about this?
Oh god.
I'll try not to, but it's a big deal. You know, like.
I love his hair though.
If you think about it, this channel is Steph and my first child, really. Before we had Ollie, before we had Skip, CatPat, like. It was this. This
is
was
CatPat the cat
has been going for.
I don't follow enough
years.
to know. 13 years though is
it's
crazy to be
like
honest.
1,200 theories. And,
wait.
Only half of those are FNAF. Shocking. I know we actually did stuff that wasn't FNAF related, but this has been a
Turn it up. Okay.
third of my life.
Here we go.
And I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss this.
Yeah, that sounds like
I value this conversation. This
oh god,
this relationship that we share. And I'm sad that I won't be able to see you every week.
Ah! Okay, Nation. As emotional as it is, like for him, for me, it's like there is a part of me that like does respect the history and obviously the work. He's mentioning 1,200 videos plus, half being FNAF for over 13 years. That's a lot of videos, if we're being honest. That's a lot of videos. And I'm sure maybe it's, I don't know if that's including this channel. I'm sure maybe it obviously is like food theorist, different stuff of that. Nationers, this is it. I don't watch a whole lot of MatPat. I don't watch like a whole bunch of FNAF videos. I've watched a lot of food theory. I've watched maybe a handful of like film theory, a bit of game theory, but and even some of the style theories, but it feels very weird because like I know how emotional it is for him, but even for me, it's like I also don't have like the tie where like a new video drops and I'm like, I need to watch, you know? But I understand where this is coming, you know? Like this is a decade plus of a career doing something he loves and he's saying goodbye, or how he puts it, ripping the Band-Aid, which I guess is true. But Rayson, welcome back.
Then I guess
I do see your message,
of like, why? Why am I doing this now?
Okay,
why am I making this announcement today?
Yeah.
Why am I walking away from the channels? Well, to be honest, it was Tom Scott. You can blame Tom Scott.
This is also another video I want to react to.
Well, he was able to do it. I want to be able to fly away in a helicopter. Obviously, that's not it.
I do actually want to watch that video.
My reasons for making this announcement today is probably largely the same as Tom's reasons, or Seth Everman's, or Captain Sparkles, or Papa Meats, or Stampy Longheads. Like, there's a lot of these.
Okay, Nationers. I have seen all those videos on my recommended. I have seen every single one.
These videos that are coming out these
People
days,
are retiring.
There's going to be a lot more happening throughout this year.
Sorry, his survival. That's like his long-lasting like series that he had.
We weren't sure it was necessarily going to be today. We didn't know exactly when it would fall.
Yeah, exactly.
we knew
Swift 2. It was like very
it was gonna
similar to
happen
like
eventually.
Technos
That's
because like
why
I didn't watch a
over
whole
the
lot.
last couple years we've been staffing up so much. That's why we partnered with a larger company to help run the channels. That's why we've been spending so much time outside of this box training up the team to make the best videos that they can, because we knew that we couldn't do this forever. We knew that, honestly, we didn't want to do this forever. For as much as I love you, and I love overthinking things, and I love theorizing, I don't love late nights. I don't love the fact that Steph and I have been work first for over a decade, where I'm sitting down at dinner with my best friend, and we're talking about business logistics.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it there because I made a prediction yesterday when we were playing Minecraft, and people had been like, "Oh my god, did you see like the MatPat video?" I myself had a theory, which kind of ironic that I had a theory of what the reason was, and I knew that he had been doing this for a very long time. My thought was that he wanted to just be a father. He wanted to just be a father, and I'm sure that's probably one of the reasons. But you can't. And I'm not a father, but I'm assuming you can't balance a lot of that, especially if you're doing 4 different channels. I'm sure like there's a lot of research, and I'm sure there's a lot of people involved, but 4 different channels plus just general business stuff, general planning for events. It's a lot, and I'm sure he just wants to be a dad. Here we go, Nationers. Here we go.
We're talking about animatronic toes. I miss the days where I could just sit down on the couch with her and play video games. And it's not for content.
And also, Ruby, he is a dad already. Hence the kid back here. That's his kid, Ollie.
So that's a big reason. That was a big one right there. But also,
I feel that.
The internet's changing. My life.
I think he has maybe one on the way. I thought he only had one.
I mentioned Ollie before. He's the coolest little dude, and he's getting older by the minute. And I watch him, and he has so much fun, and he is so much smarter than I was when I was his age. He also probably knows the FNAF lore better than I do, which is a problem that I should probably address at some point. But honestly, I want to be able to spend more time with him. Another sad fact of the matter is
I figured that was
I'm getting older. I'm 37.
He's 37? I'm not going to lie. I think he's the 4th Spider-Man. This screenshot doesn't really do him justice, but I do think MatPat is the 4th Spider-Man, by the way. He looks exactly like a combination of Andrew Garfield meets Tobey Maguire meets like Drake Bell hairstyle, regardless of what Drake Bell has done in his personal life. He's like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield had a child. That's just my opinion. I know he's not young. I know, like, obviously he's been doing this for 13 years. I'm sure he didn't start when he was like 17. I don't know if you guys know how old Andrew Garfield is, but Andrew Garfield is 40 years old. I don't know if you guys know that. He's 40 years old.
The other day, I actually had to Google my own age.
Just putting that in perspective,
when you have to start like doing math in your head to calculate how old you are over the hill, my friends.
Well, it's easy for my parents.
To my credit, I think I'm like
they're born on like a
37-year-old
on a zero
out there who has an unironic appreciation of Skibidi Toilet. Then again, maybe
I'm sure most of you guys do.
Right?
I don't know.
Maybe that's not a good thing. And honestly, because this is all about us being honest, there is a bit of a selfish side to this. When you think about it, there's only really 2 ways to step away from a YouTube channel. You either just decide the day that you stop uploading and you're like, I'm done, or
good
you just
way.
keep uploading videos from now until the heat death of the universe, and you watch as your relevance slowly dies or your passion slowly dies. And for me,
it's like a
in my
weird
journey
feeling though.
In this place, I always wanted to go out on a high note. And when you stop and look at the last year, this has been the best year in the theorist lifespan ever. Like,
I think
no
that's
joke.
great.
It is our highest view year. It is the year where we launched Style Theory and immediately put our foothold in a brand new space, and that took off, and now we're one of the
top
that
video, by the way. The heel,
can
a heel kill you?
That kind of completes the trifecta of, hey, we now have a top channel in 4 different verticals that are completely different, and no other YouTuber really has ever been able to do it to
I wish
that
you did
scale.
music theory,
That's
to be honest,
amazing.
but that's
This
me.
is also the year where
Just
I was
saying.
able to meet you guys at our Broadway show. I was able to play at the PGA and show that, hey, YouTubers aren't particularly good at golf, but they can make your event relevant for like a couple of minutes. It was also the year that I got to host the Streamy Awards, and it wasn't cringe. I mean, to be fair, the Streamy Awards are always a little bit cringe, but it was the right amount of cringe. When I pull up.
Not gonna lie, love MatPat. Love him. You know, to a certain extent, for what I like know. Didn't watch the Streaming Awards. It happened so early in the year. It happened like September 3rd or 4th. Normally it's like late December, like early December, late in the year. Because then you have like enough stuff to be like, yeah, that person is like doing some epic stuff. Like, we can't say the 24-hour live stream is the most epic thing of 2023 if the Streaming Awards are like way before it. But yeah,
videos of all my favorite
By the way,
creators.
Celestial, welcome in. Feel free to put that in the Discord, by the way.
Hearing people just
Exclamation mark
casually
Discord.
dropping, that's just a theory.
It's just a theory, a game theory.
Now, this is just a theory, people.
At the end of the day, it's just a game theory.
That's just a theory. A Freebirds theory.
Also a lot of lore, so if you're a big theory head, proceed at your own risk.
I did not know about this theory.
That's a theory.
That right there, that is incredible. That's the note that I want to leave on. And that's how you just know it's the right time. All of those reasons coming together, saying, hey, this is the moment. And that's hard to say.
I feel like that's really hard to say.
Change is hard.
I had to go through this.
But sometimes
maybe
the right
not to this
decision
extent, but
isn't the easy decision.
I had the same decision to
The
make.
easy decision would just be to carry on doing this and do FNAF Part 332. But that wouldn't be the right decision. I think the best way to explain it is with a video game analogy. Feels appropriate, right? Whoa, it's game theory. Ha! Did it. Check the game part of it off. But the way I like to think about it is Earthbound. I think I've made it pretty clear over the years that that is...
Okay. I'm going to go into the new challenger here because this is a new section. It's a long video. Don't get me wrong. It's 25 minutes long. Granted, I think we got the gist of what is, you know, the reasons why, but I do want to see the new challenger, aka like the new person, if that makes sense, to see where we're going in right now, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Let's see. Let's see.
Ben is going to be taking over the channel.
Oh, sorry. I missed that.
Fading away and someone new is coming in. Maybe this is the David Tennant to Matt Smith transition,
Okay.
right?
What does that mean? I should
Good,
know that
solid
reference.
series of episodes right there. So who then is going to be taking over the channel?
Yeah, this is...
Well, I don't know if you've noticed this, but fewer and fewer of the words that I'm saying in any given episode are actually mine. If you go down to the credits, you can actually see in the description that there are certain names that have been appearing more and more frequently. Like, yeah, I'm listed on every single one as the writer because I touch every single script, I polish it in my voice. But in all honesty, the bulk of what I'm saying is coming from someone else. It's their research, it's their work. Why should they have to filter their creativity through my voice? I've always envisioned
What an
these channels as a
interesting
place where we can
concept, though.
spotlight all sorts of creators. I mean, it even goes back to the original URL of this channel, right? It
Okay.
isn't game theory. It was always the game theorists, because this was a place where you could find a lot of like-minded creators, all with a passion for gaming and education. That's why we had the partner shows like Gaijin Goomba with Culture Shock, or Drake with Smash History, or Ryder with A Brief History, or Austin with The Science, and Lee with Breakdown. They were all here because we all had a similar goal: to educate people through the lens of gaming. And then YouTube pivoted and then made it so that way doing a channel in that style doesn't really work anymore. But we still tried to keep that ethos alive by making sure that we're regularly covering small indie projects. Stuff like OnlyCans, like Mandela Catalog, like
OnlyCans.
OWO.
OnlyCans kind of seem, you know, let me tell you.
But if we're doing that for all
OnlyCans?
these other creators, why aren't we doing it for the creators on our own staff who have been in the trenches doing the research, writing these words to deliver to you over the last couple years? I have been
Sorry, those
fortunate.
are just ads that
I
they
have
pop
been
up. That's just the
so
ad blocker kind of
blessed
working.
to have this platform available to me that you've given me over the last 13 years. But I think now it's time to pass it on to the next generation. Let me give someone else a shot.
Who's
but
that?
I realized that I'm getting off track here. So
who is
back to
that?
the question: who is taking over?
Who is
First
it?
off, it's not going to one person, but rather four. I
Four?
would not wish my schedule on anyone. Like, sure,
Okay.
I'm willing to not sleep for the last 13 years of my life, but I feel like as old man YouTube passing this along to the next generation, I should
You know,
probably
he's
do my
got
best
good
to
hair.
try and make it more sustainable.
He's got
for
good
them.
hair, though.
It's also going to people that you're already familiar with. You've seen them showing up in shorts. You've seen them here on the couch with me for GT Live. You've sometimes seen them washing their hair with me in my own shower.
That was a good
Don't
video,
read too
by the
much
way.
into that, but
That was
it
a good
is
video, I
accurate.
have to
Most
be
importantly,
honest.
though, they're each an expert
It
in
was
their
good.
own individual subject
It was
matter.
really
They've
good.
been spearheading the creative of the channels for the better part of the last year. And I think what's maybe the most fascinating about all of this is that each of the four of them come to us from a completely different angle. You know, so for instance, you have Lee, right? Lee's going to be taking over film theory.
Okay.
And Lee has been with us for 10 years. 10
Lee knows.
years.
He
It's
knows.
Crazy. I believe he was actually editor
Okay.
number 3 for the channels. We had Ronnie, and then we had Ryder, Foot of a Ferret. And then we had Lee. I think his first theory that he ever
Wow.
worked on was
Go Lee.
Rosalina's
Woo.
Peach's daughter. Peach is dead. One of my all-time favorite episodes that we've ever done on the channel.
See, I wish I knew
over
more
time,
about these
he
people.
rose up. He had his
The
own
only
show
person that I
on the
know
channel
is
here. He had
the
Breakdown,
girl,
which were these
like
just
with the black
beautiful
hair.
documentaries that were edited.
It's the only one
in
that I
such an
know.
incredible way. And since then, he's been spearheading a lot of the creative on both the writing and the visual side. And then, of course, you have Amy over
Amy,
on Style
that's her
Theory.
name.
And Amy is actually a very different case here. When she first approached us, I think it was 6 years ago, she didn't know about the channels. All she knew was that she wanted to learn everything that she could about digital video, and that Theorist was kind of the place that you went to learn that stuff. Like, we
Okay.
were the best when it
Okay,
comes to
okay.
analytics and optimization and programming and things like that. She got in, and she just devoured everything that we threw at her. So much so that she eventually got to the point where she was so good that she was consulting the largest mobile game company in the world based off of the stuff that we were working on here in studio. It's incredible. And
Who would
all of
that
that
be,
while being
though?
responsible for packaging somewhere around like 500 episodes across all the channels. And then she helped me and Steph brainstorm Style Theory for 2 years before the channel eventually launched, hoping
I
that
mean-
maybe one day she would be able to rise into the hosting role for it.
I think
Now
she'd be
here
good
is.
for it.
And then, of course, you have Santi and Tom. Santi over on Food Theory and Tom over here on Game Theory.
Okay.
And interestingly enough, they both grew up watching Game Theory. We were their childhood show, which, to be
Childhood,
fair,
how
just
they look older than him. Regardless, Nisha, I think we got the gist of what is happening as of now when it comes to Game Theorist, Game Theory, all the theories. Who is going to be taking over? It sounds crazy to think that that's where things are going. I'll probably maybe watch the rest of this video, but I think 25 minutes is kind of long just to kind of get the nitty gritty things that we kind of understand, don't understand. But do want to pay respect to, him and everything that he's done for not only himself, his family, all the channels that he runs, but I think when we look at a lot of different influential points of history along YouTube, I think MatPat hits a lot of that and has had a lot of influence overarching many, many, many years. So just want to shout out MatPat. That was a good video.